What's going on, lads? It's Dave YGO here, and today we're back with the Goblins. I kind of wanted to make a follow-up video to my last video with this deck, and I kind of wanted to show a replay so you could actually see this deck in action. The list is pretty much the same. I have been testing cutting the Ready Fusions for E-Teles, which opens up an extra deck slot for Gossip Shadow, but I'm not 100% sure how I like it yet. Like I said, Gossip Shadow in this deck, I really don't like it because you have to detach 2 materials, and that's really horrible because you need to detach for any of the goblins to really do anything. And in order to make it before like Nibiru or like Droll or something, you have to open extremely well. So I'm not sure yet, but it's just an idea I've been tossing around. Besides that, the list really hasn't changed that much. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show some actual footage of it. So let's hop over to that replay real quick. And we're back with the replay. So this was a game I played, I want to say a couple of days ago, so I might misremember some of the things, but we'll just start off here. I win the die roll. That is a huge, huge advantage for this deck. Like, you have going second place with Zeus, like I said, but obviously winning the die roll is huge. And our opening hand here is pretty strong. We have Terratop, the search spell that can E-Tele, Ash, Rhoda, and the Marauding Captain for the deck. So I go ahead and start off with Terratop here, and I search the good old Tack and Tomborg. I wait for a second on resolution. He doesn't have Droll, so I go ahead and special it out. And we're going to go ahead and summon Gabonga here and attempt to get that nice search. Also, expect people to read these cards because they're not as popular. This deck isn't as popular as a lot of the other decks. We are playing against Snake Eye here, which you'll find out shortly. But yeah, so just let people be patient. You know, this is not a very common deck. But anyway, we're going to search Doug and use the effect to detach and special. And then we're going to use that effect to go search for the continuous spell since we already have access to the search spell. Just reading some cards here. And then the cool thing about this card, XYZ Armor Fortress, is you can just slap it right on top of Gabonga. And you have to do this in some lines where if you start your turn out without a Goblin Rider, like if you start it with Terratop, then this is the way you have to do the combo. It still ends on the full board. You just miss out on the draw from the rank 3. But we go ahead and just use the effect here. We search for Full Armored XZ. And we activate the spell card and detach. So we basically get to add it and then special it from hand. So I just go ahead and special summon it. And then I use the effect to bring back Gabonga from grave. And then my opponent thinks here, and they drop the rock. Now, I'm not going to lie. The rock, and especially Droll, can hurt this deck a lot. However, if you're able to get access to Grand Bash, there's sometimes ways you could play through it, this is why I kind of wanted to show off this game, because it's not all the time, but sometimes you can. So he goes ahead and drops the rock here, which I think is a very solid time to drop it, and passes over a token. So I think here for a second, and then I activate Rhoda. I go ahead and search Boom Mock. And then I activate that, and then since we didn't start out with this because we started out with the Terratop, we can actually additional normal out the Merciless, use the effect to special out Boon Mock, and then make a second copy of Gabonga, and then use the Spell Engrave to detach and add back. So I go ahead and just detach, and you can add back the same thing you detach as long as you have another target engrave previously, because this card does not target to add back the Goblin. It says detach, and then you can add a Goblin from grave. So as long as you have a prior target, you can add it back. And then I'm going to be able to suck up the Zeus here. And then we go ahead and set the trap, and we go to end phase. Now, this doesn't look like a ton, but it's actually pretty decent, because during end phase, we're going to attach. I just decided to attach another copy of Merciless. We pass. So on our opponent's turn, despite the Nibiru, so we have this token. I don't remember the stats on it, but its defense is only 18, so it's not very big. But we have Gabonga, we can use Splatter's effect in grave to detach and special out, and then we get Gabonga effect to attach. We get Splatter to summon back Doug to search for follow-up. And then we also have the trap card with the 2 level 3s we'll have in order to summon Cicada King. And then we also have Ash. So we still have 3 interruptions, which is pretty solid for this deck. So they're going to start off with Bonfire. Like I said, we are playing against the Snake Eye deck. I go ahead and decide to just... I go ahead and shotgun Ash this. Now, this is usually not the best play. I'm not going to lie to you, because they could have a million extenders. But my big thing here is that I already don't have the full board. Okay, I only have 2 or 3 interruptions here. So I decide to Ash the Bonfire because I want them to keep them off bodies, which can get to Populous and Special. And I'm kind of just hoping they don't have a ton of extenders because like I said, my board really does not have enough power right now to push through that many extenders. So that's why I decided to Ash the Bonfire, which plays directly into a talents. Now it's okay because I can use Splatter, Effect, and Grave to detach and special. And he goes ahead and takes Kabonga. And I use the effect to bring back Douglas. I use that effect to go ahead and search for more follow-up. And he's thinking about what to do here. He goes ahead and... I can't remember. Yeah, no. I go ahead and activate the trap card on res here in order to summon Cicada King because I want that negate up. Funnily enough, if I use Cicada King's effect to negate something, he'll be able to trigger Kabonga to attach it. But like I said, he's first time he's played this deck, so I don't think he 100% knows what all the cards do. And then he's going to activate Original, which is obviously really good. That gets rid of my guy. He summons out Ash from the deck. He uses Ash, and I just decide I know he has Witch in hand because he showed it earlier, but this card is so good. Like, it's going to get access to Populous. He's going to be able to send itself plus Diabellstar to get Flamberge, so I decide to go ahead and negate here. And then he hits me with the Kurikara, so keep in mind I've gotten hit with Nibiru, Talents, and Kurikara, which is kind of rough. But he goes ahead and gets rid of that. He summons Diabellstar, uses the effect. Now, the interesting thing here, though, is that I negated Ash, so he can't use that effect to summon Flamberge, and he's already used Original Sinful Spoil. So he's really only going to be able to set Wanted with this, which is dead right now. So he can make like a Link 2 and like summon out like with Heater or whatever, but he's not going to be able to get access to anything super crazy here. So he goes to Hida. He brings out my Ash. He goes ahead and summons Princess. Uses that effect to bring back the Ash from grave. And then I think he might use it to summon Flamberge from deck. Yep. Oh no, he goes for Oak first for sure. He wants that rotation. And then he summons Link Karibo, and then he goes Oak effect, bring out Flambergeson. And he's going to attack over the Nibiru token in a second. I just tell him that he has 18 defense from the Xyz monster. Attacks over Nib, activates the effect, places Hida in the spell and trap zone, and then goes to end phase and passes. So it's not horrible here because he still has Princess to pop something, and then that's going to trigger Flamberge to bring back like Ash and Oak, and then Oak can bring back a guy, Ash's follow-up. So I basically really have to kill him here or he's going to destroy me on the crackback. So he uses the effect to summon out Hida. And I'm just kind of thinking here. I have a couple plays, but I mean the obvious one is just normal Merciless Special Doug, which is what I do. Doug is kind of redundant here. It's just going to get the last copy of the search spell, I believe. Because I only play one of the continuous spell. And he's thinking here. We'll take a second to think. And keep in mind, I've already had to go through both Kabonga here, which is kind of rough. So I make Armor Torpedo. And he's going to go ahead and Princess pop it. And then this is one of the cool things about the trap card. Even if you don't get to go into the big guy, and this is something I would really recommend everybody knowing, you could banish it from grave and target an Xyz monster you control, equip one other Xyz monster from your face-up field or grave to it, and it gains attack due to that monster's attack. But the most important part here is the equip monster, if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect once, you can protect it. I've had this come up multiple times where I've summoned Zeus and they've tried to Princess pop it, and I just chained the trap card, equip the rank 5, and then it protects it, and my guy does not die. So that's what happens here. I equip. He still Princess still resolves as much as possible, so it pops the Flamberge, and I protect. And then he goes ahead and triggers Flamberge here. He summons out Oak and Ash. He gets both of his guys' effects. He summons back Kurikara. Although I don't think he could do that because it must be special summon from your hand. So I don't know, maybe a little misstep there. And my play here right now is to just make Zeus, downward Zeus. So I go ahead and do that. I make Zeus, wipe the board. He changed wanted to go ahead and get Diabellstar, which is fine. Wipe the board. And then I kind of debate here because I could try and just pass on a Zeus wipe with nothing else, but then I really don't have a lot of engine going because, like, I'll have this to search for next turn, but, like, that just gets me Splotter into one guy, and I'm not sure a Zeus wipe is going to be enough to stop his follow-up because he has this engraved to search, he has this to draw a card, like, he's got quite a few things here, so I kind of debate it, but I end up saying, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and commit to the play. So we both take a second to think here, and I detach to go ahead and add in special Splotter. Use the effect here. Bring back Kabonga. This is really nice that it can bring back Kabonga, I'm not going to lie. That's come up a lot. And then we'll use the effect of this guy to detach and bring back. Gabonga, I decide to attach the Zeus just to have a material to detach. And then I use Mock to detach and special. And then I summon a Shuriken. And then end phase, I go ahead and attach with Kabonga. So I went ahead and outed his field with Zeus. And then on the opponent's turn, instead of just like the one singular Zeus wipe, we have a Shuriken for the Ash that he's going to get to normal summon. That we can detach Splotter with. And then we can use Splotter once it's detached to detach Mock to special out, which is going to give us follow-up, and it's going to give us Kabonga attach, which is pretty good. I think that's better than 2 Zeus wipes. And if he doesn't do any, he has to, like, answer this, or, like, this is just game on board. So he goes ahead, he starts his turn, he uses the wanted engine to put back, draw a card, he specials Diabellstar by pitching Droll, effect. I think about it here, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, I think I'm just going to go ahead and negate that, and then he's going to normal summon Ash here, I believe, use the effect. He's going to grab Popular effect, special. He's going to go grab the field spell. And then I kind of think here, and I kind of look in his grave, and I'm like, there's a Flamberge, Oak's gone. So I'm kind of like unsure when to fully interrupt him here. Because I believe he's going to use this field spell in order to get access to the Flamberge from deck. Because he wants to send it off Ash, and I'm like, I can't let him have that. So I use this to go ahead and attach. He uses Link Kuriboh to dodge, but that's honestly fine because all I wanted was the Ash off field. So now here, he's already normaled. Oak's gone, so he doesn't have that in an extender. The only card he could really have here would be Birch. He's already used Hida, so he doesn't really have anything else to special from grave. He gets to go ahead and, but obviously he gets to special that and take care of my guy. And going from here, let's see. I believe he summons Dark here. No, he goes for Sunlight Wolf. He wants that recursion. So he triggers Flamberge here. Now this is kind of looking bleak because he gets the Oak, the Ash, the Sunlight Wolf add back, adds back Flamberge, summons out Ash, summon Heat Soul to draw a card. And at this point, the writing's pretty much on the wall. Summons this, and I believe he's going to try and go for the Zelantis line here. Summon out Flamberge from hand. There it is. Banishes my guys, and I'm just kind of waiting for him to, like, do it. I want to see him put it up, which he is going to get access to here. Like I said, I couldn't remember if I won or lost his first game because it's been a while, but he does end up taking game 1 here. Banish, bring back, and then battle phase, he can use Zelantis to pop 2. So, kind of unfortunate. I mean, he hit me with Nibiru, Talents, Kurikara, plus Engine, so it's like, there's only so much you can do, you know? But I thought that was a good representation of, like, at least when your opponent has Nibiru, while it is tough, there are hands that can play through it, and that was still, like, a pretty decent showing. So we move on to game 2 here, and I am going to choose to go first. And this hand is pretty good. I mean, the only real bad card you didn't want to see here was Full Armored Xyz. Everything else is just spectacular. So we start off with Rhoda. Search Kagemucha Knight. I wait for the droll on res. There's no droll. And keep in mind, I do side cross out and called by post board, so there's a decent chance I'll at least have a card to counter it. But we summon Kagemucha Knight. We summon up the water. And this is full combo from here on. And we have that line again, like I said, where if like we do get nibbed, then this is going to search the continuous spell, and this plus that could like get me somewhere. But I don't believe our opponent ends up having it here. We make the IP. We summon it because, like I said, if you draw the trap, you have to like slap it on there, which is kind of weird, but you do what you got to do. We detach, summon back. Use the spell to E-Telly from deck. Effect of Clotter, bring back from grave. I bring back a Bonga, and then we summon the Dark Lancer, and then we set. And the reason I brought out that extra bodies is I was thinking about making. I was thinking if there was a way I could maybe get to a Shuriken, but I'm like, you know what? It kind of sucks when you make a Shuriken because then you have to attach Splatter, and then it's like the first interruption you have to use. So I decided to just leave it, and I'll just use these two bodies to Xyz with on the opponent's turn. So that's what I decided I'm doing here. And then I attach Mach with Kabanga, and I pass. So this is Cicada King with this to negate something. Then we can use Clouder to detach and special to absorb with Kabanga. The trap card will then be engraved. We can banish and equip the rank 5 to attach. We can IP with any of our extra deck monsters in order to summon out SP to banish something, and then we have SP's banished. So it's 5 interruptions. I decided to go ahead and shotgun Cicada King here in case he just decides to like normal summon Ash or something. I just want to have a card to be able to stop it, or just inherent summons Diabellstar. So he goes ahead and does that. I go ahead and negate it, and then I just take the Black Witch because I really just want to keep him off bodies, off the field, so he can't use, like, if he hard drew the Sinful Spoil card or whatever. And I still have multiple interruptions to get bodies off field, so I felt like this was a fine play to do. He goes ahead and talents me again, draws 2, normal summons Jet, and I mean, like, this is the easiest take in the world. Like, if your opponent's normal summoning Jet, you know the rest of their hand's got to be weak. So I go ahead and just SP banish that, and he scoops him up. So now we go into game 3, and obviously I am going second here. And my opening hand is very, very strong. We have Terror Top, Tour Guide, the Search Spell, Droll Ash. I mean, it doesn't really get better than that. So our opponent activates Bonfire. I go ahead and let this through. They use Popular Effect. And I chain Droll on Resolution, which is obviously really strong. They don't get to search anything off Popular. They use talents here, and I'm not going to lie, I think this is kind of a misstep on them. They decide to take the Goblin Biker entrance, which is kind of weird because, like, they know I have Ash, so, like, maybe, like, the rest of their hand isn't good enough to play through it. But, like, even if you don't take Ash, I feel like this is the worst one to take because this is a one-card combo that doesn't use my normal summon. This is a one-card combo that uses my normal summon, but you're hitting the one that's, like, an extender-ish. Like, if I was in this situation, I'm just hitting Terror Top because then, if you hit Terror Top here, my hand still folds if you, like, out my normal summon guy. Like, if I normal Tour Guide impermit, my hand just folds. But, like, he decides to take the search spell, so interesting decision at least, I would say. So he goes ahead and links off for Link Rebo, Popular Effect to put itself back. He normal summons Ash, uses the effect, and like I said, I'm not 100% sure here because, like, he sends 2, and I'm like, he knows I have Ash, so, I mean, I go ahead and drop it here. And he leaves. But, like, regardless, even if he had Engine to keep playing, like, we have Terror Top, Tour Guide, and we can push through quite a bit here. And he would have to have, like, a really good extender to keep playing. So, yeah, I hope that gives you a little bit of a better idea of how the deck plays. I'm certainly not perfect with the deck. I'm sure I made a misstep here or there. But, you know, I'm learning every day, and I think this deck's a lot of fun. So, with that being said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And, yeah, that's it. See ya.